Hi there, historians. Today, we are going to be using our thinking like a historian skills by analyzing the evidence and making and describing um, conclusions by looking at a particular slide. And let me explain how this is going to go. So, what you're going to do is when you look at this slide here, this gives you lots of pieces of information. It says social class investigation. It has a Muslim social class pyramid here, the caliph and the Arab elite. Then we see the step below is the non Arab Islamic converts, which means that they converted to Islam. And then below that, there are people of the book. Remember, the Muslims believe that Jews and Christians were people of the book. And so you could see that they're another tier or step below. And then we see the enslaved at the bottom of the pyramid there. Now we look at some images, and you'll have to closely look at those images here. And then this box says prayer carries us halfway to God, fasting brings us the door of his palace, and almsgiving procures us admission. And that's from the Quran, and almsgiving means giving to the poor. And you could see another one. It says, whoever does good, whether male or female, and is a believer, we shall certainly make him live a good life, and we will certainly give them their reward for the best of what they did. And then we can see the madrasa, or school of higher education for the rich. So when you closely look at all of the details here, and I just bonsai'd through this reading it to you, so you'll have to spend some time thinking and connecting with the images. What I want you to do on this is list what you see. Now, when you list what you see, and I put a little sentence starter here, you could say, I see a social class pyramid. I see captions from the Holy Book. I see an image of, and so it's just a list. Then what you're going to do, and I'd like you to list 5. So you'll add your list here. Then I want you to pick one of the things that you listed. Pick one. So, maybe this image, maybe this image, maybe this caption, this caption, this caption, or this pyramid. And I want you to describe it and explain what it means, what you think it means. And then you're going to make an inference, conclusion, or prediction. And I want you to really look at the social class diagram. And I want you to look at the description of who is in each category. Now, what inference can you make regarding how social classes are designated? So before, when we learned about social classes in feudalism, you learned that they were basically designed by, area of wealth and nobility, or being born into a certain social class. Now, what do you notice about this particular social class pyramid? And then what I would like you to do is, looking back at our question of what questions can we ask to determine what freedoms group have in society, I want you to, you're going to need to draw, a text box here, and tell me what questions can you ask? And I want you to list at least 3. Okay, 3 good questions. How would you be able to frame a question so that you can get the information about the specific freedoms that groups have in this society? So the groups here, you can see the caliph and the Arab elite, the Mawali, the non-Arab Islamic converts, so converting to Muslim or Islam, people of the book, Jews and Christians, and the enslaved. What questions can we ask that will help us determine what freedoms each of these groups had? So when we look at what we know about feudalism, we know that the serfs didn't have any freedoms. We know that what questions could we ask about this social class? And then what I want you to do is I want you to think about Voltaire. And remember, Voltaire argued for freedom of speech and expression and religion. So do you think this is what Voltaire intended when he argued for freedom of religion? Why or why not? And I want you to, if you don't remember, you can go back into those speaker notes and you can look back at Voltaire here, and you could remind yourself on what he was represented. So remember, Voltaire thought that religion's place in government and society was to be separate. So, what do you think? Do you think that even though um, in the Islamic Empire, people were allowed to believe what they wanted, do you think the way in which the Islamic Empire was set up was that what Voltaire intended when he argued for freedom of religion? And then why or why not? So I look forward to hearing and seeing your thoughts. Have a great day and keep being curious.